Coming up today on Public Eye News, the state of Michigan issued a new bill and an increase of federal VA dollars has occurred.
Elijah Clardy has your weather, and Dan Kapanen has the latest on Michigan State basketball. Hi, I'm Hannah Jensen.
And I'm Charlie Edwards, and this is your Public Eye News. Today marks the 42nd anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald in Lake Superior. The ship departed from Superior, Wisconsin on November 9th, 1975, en route to Detroit, Michigan, but got caught in a storm. The ship mysteriously disappeared from radar 17 miles northwest of Whitefish Point on November 10th and resulted in the deaths of all 29 crew members. The public is invited to the annual Edmund Fitzgerald Memorial Ceremony at the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum at Whitefish Point tonight to 7 p.m. There will also be a gallery open from noon to 4 p.m. A ribbon-cutting ceremony and free public tours were held today at the Grandview Marquette, the new name for the Holy Family Orphanage. The $16 million renovation project of the building transformed the old orphanage, which was abandoned in 1981, into a 56-unit housing complex. Community Action Alger Marquette and Home Renewal Systems hosted the event and gave a thorough tour of the vicinity to prospective tenants.
And the Hancock Police Department is asking the public's help in finding a missing man. 38-year-old Dwayne E. Kangas was last seen on Tuesday afternoon leaving the Christ Food Mart. Kangas is 175 pounds, 5'8" with long brown hair and brown eyes. He also has tattoos on his arm. If anyone has any information, please call 906-482-3102. And Michigan officials are now taking public comments on plans for expanding off-road vehicle access on state forest roads in the northern Lower Peninsula. ORVs would have access starting in January. To submit a comment, you can go to the DNR's website.
Michigan would cut its penalties for defrauding the unemployment benefit system under legislation approved by the State House. The measure is incorporated in an 8-bill package sent to the Senate on Wednesday. The bills would require additional ID from claimants applying for benefits and create a mechanism so employers and claimants could address claims filed by imposters. The agency also would have to rethink prior determinations of fraud if evidence proves a beneficiary did not receive proper information. According to the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs Geographic Distribution of Expenditures, Michigan has shown an increase in federal VA dollars received, as well as a percentage of states' veterans receiving benefits. In only 6 years, the value of benefits that could be accessed by Michigan veterans has increased from $2.4 billion in 2010 to over $4 billion in 2016. The amount of VA dollars for compensation and pension benefits has also increased by roughly 55% since 2012. And after the break, we will be back with your national and international news. Stay tuned.
If the Acropolis had a roof, Foo Fighters would raise it. Here we go! It's an amazing once-in-a-lifetime Foo Fighters concert. Meet the band with your host, Chad Smith of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Welcome to Greece.
Join us when Foo Fighters rock the Acropolis on Landmark's Live in Concert. A great performance is special.
Tonight at 10 after great performances on Public TV 13.
Welcome back. Days after resigning, Kentucky's former Republican House Speaker Jeff Hoover was hospitalized. Reports say Hoover suffered from a heart-related issue. He also admitted to being one of 4 lawmakers who settled sexual harassment claims outside of court. Bears everywhere. A family of bears broke into a home in Monrovia today and helped themselves to a snack. Wildlife makes plenty of appearances in this neighborhood. KCAL 9's Crystal Cruz is in Monrovia with the latest on the bear affair.
You guys gotta get out. Come on. Oh boy.
OMG, it's a BBB, a big brown bear inside the house.
It was pretty terrifying for my husband, but you know, this is where we live and we love the wildlife.
Jenny Mark's husband was home resting from a gunshot wound he got during the mass shooting in Vegas when he heard this bear in his sunroom.
This is kind of the cat room area where they came in, and I keep lots of food and treats down, so that's what they were going after.
By the looks of it, that food was the cat's meow. 2 cubs entered through a crack in the patio door, just big enough for a cat.
There was only about 5 inches that were open.
What were the cats doing?
Cats, I think, were gone or hidden under the ottoman at that point.
Security video shows one bear slip out of the house the way he or she came in. Mama bear and a sibling waited at the door.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
The bears are frequent floaters around these parts. From pool parties to just hanging around, they've even knocked on the door.
Oh my goodness.
A neighbor gave us this photo of one bear hanging around, along with video of the cubs playing in his backyard.
The European Union is insisting that real progress must be made in the Brexit talks in the next 2 weeks if England wants negotiations to progress on future trade relations next month. After another inconclusive negotiating session, both sides are claiming that differences remained on vital divorce issues, including England's Brexit bill, the Irish border, and the rights of citizens affected by Brexit. European Union leaders are slated to meet on the issues at a summit occurring December 14th and 15th. The latest trend in water aerobics works your core and gives you a dose of fantasy at the same time. Danielle Nottingham shows us a unique under-the-sea workout.
At the Hotel del Coronado in San Diego, a mythical creature is coming to life.
My favorite part is actually going to be a mermaid.
Holly Edgen isn't shy about slipping on colorful fins and diving into this under-the-sea workout called Mermaid Fitness.
It was more fun than I could have even anticipated.
Splashing around in fishtails may be fun, but isolating your legs and fins for 45 minutes is also intense cardio and strength training.
It's going to be a reverse bicep curl, but isolated.
Part of that entails getting your heart rate up, get their core activated and working to get their biceps, their triceps, the upper body.
And it's not just mermaids, even mermen like Taylor Ames are giving it a try.
What kind of workout did you get?
This was, I would say, be really similar to a swim workout, but then there's actually a fair amount of abs involved in it. Like my abs are like really hurting right now sitting up straight.
And we're gonna do 30 here.
Holly says the low impact workout is helping her burn fat and build muscle.
Your triceps are burning, just trying to stay afloat. Your shoulders, your core really is engaging because of the weight of the water on the fins.
And she gets to live out a childhood fantasy. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, San Diego, California.
O.J. Simpson has been banned from a Las Vegas hotel. The former football star has been banned from the Cosmopolitan Hotel and Casino in Vegas. This as his attorney denies allegations that Simpson was belligerent and breaking glasses. Simpson was just released from prison last month, but this incident could land him back behind bars. And after the break, we'll have your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
Coming up on Austin City Limits. Saturday night at 11 after Under the Radar on Public TV 13.
Welcome back. I'm Elijah Clordy, and it's approximately 10 after the hour as we look at our NMU Skycam. It's looking pretty sunny out there, but it is warming up a little bit, having a little melting off, and we'll see that as a trend over the next couple of days. And we're looking into our current conditions, partly cloudy with a temperature of 23 degrees and winds south-southeast at 5 miles an hour with a pressure of 30.62 inches and falling. Looking into tonight, we will see a couple snowflakes here and there, a low of 20 degrees and winds south at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Looking into tomorrow, more snow with a high of 31 and winds south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Looking across the UP, it is pretty sunny temperatures in the 20s. 23 up in Sault Ste. Marie, Menominee, or Manistee, 24, Menominee and Escanaba, 26 and 25 respectively. Over in the western half of the UP, we're looking at 22 degrees in Iron Mountain, Ironwood, 20 degrees. Up in the Keweenaw, we're looking at 22 degrees, and back in our hometown of Marquette, Michigan, it is 23 degrees. Looking ahead, mostly cloudy skies over the next 3 days. Sunday, we're looking at a high of 38 degrees, a low of 29. Monday, we're looking at a high of 39 degrees, a low of 30 degrees. And Tuesday, we're looking at a high of 41 degrees and a low of 38. Well, we're having a little bit of a warming trend and not a bad time for NMU basketball.
No, they're making the big trip up to Michigan Tech this weekend, and we're hoping for some wins. Northern Michigan University's men's basketball team opens their 2017-2018 season this weekend with 2 games as part of the GLIAC GLVC Challenge hosted by Michigan Tech. On Saturday, the Wildcats will take on Lewis University, and NMU returns to take on the University of Wisconsin-Parkside on Sunday. Both will feature audio and live stats. Junior Naba Eccles was named to the preseason All-GLIAC team, and 7 of the team's top players from last year are returning for this season. Jordan Perez enters the season as the lone returning senior and will be looked upon to provide leadership. Last season, he finished second on the team with 12.3 points a game and 2.2 assists per game. Miles Howard returns for his sophomore season, looking to make a larger impact inside. During his freshman campaign, he started 6 games while averaging nearly 18 minutes a game. As soon as Miles Bridges decided to return for his sophomore season, Michigan State was guaranteed to be one of the main contenders for the national championship this season. Bridges, who's a preseason All-American, passed up a chance to be a first-round draft pick in order to chase college basketball's biggest prize. The pursuit begins tonight when the second-ranked Spartans open their regular season against North Florida at the Breslin Center. While Bridges is the star of the team, the Spartans have plenty of appealing options surrounding him. The team's second leading scorer last season, sophomore forward Nick Ward, will also return. The Spartans have 2 experienced point guards in Tum Tum Nairn and Cassius Winston, who averaged a combined 8.8 assists last season. And finally, the Bears are taking on the Packers this weekend, and Mitch Trubisky didn't take long to realize the significance of this game. It'll mark the 196th meeting with Green Bay, clinging to a 95-94-6 lead in the series. Green Bay is eager to change its narrative and reassert itself as a playoff contender. Since Rodgers went down, the Packers have lost 3 in a row and averaged only 14.7 points a game. In place of Rodgers, Packers quarterback Brett Hundley has produced a lackluster 58.3 passer rating. On the other side of the NFC North, Matthew Stafford doesn't want to hear how the schedule sets up favorably for the Detroit Lions. The outlook appears unusually rosy for a 500 team at the midpoint of the season. The Lions only face one more team, Minnesota, currently above the 500 mark. They will be taking on the Browns on Sunday. Well, Hannah, when football starts again into this time of year, you can really expect some snow on the ground, especially in a town like Cleveland. Yeah. But I hear a man had a little bit of snow on the ground in a courtroom.
Yeah, that was definitely not snow hitting the ground, but one man had an unfortunate event while in drug court on drug charges. 43-year-old Juan Jose Vidro had put a wad of cocaine in his hat before his court appearance, and the cocaine fell out of his hat. A police officer watched the coke hit the floor. Vidro was then taken to the county jail and charged with narcotic possession and another bond violation. And talk about a stinky situation. A police interrogation of a Kansas man charged with drug and gun offenses ended shortly. The premature ending was due to his flatulence. A detective reported that when he asked the man about his home address, the man leaned to one side and released a fart. Isn't that something else? I mean, I guess sometimes just gotta go with it.
That's all the time we have for today here on Public Eye News. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.